I was very excited to start this class because it was my first experience that I would have in the field. With this excitement also came the nerves of teaching lessons. I love math, but was not sure that I would be able to effectively teach math to 4th graders. Throughout this course, I have overcome the nerves and feel confident in my abilities to teach engaging math lessons. This course has helped shape my philosophy of math by introducing me to growth mindset and giving me a better understanding of constructivism and sociocultural learning theory. We learned that a growth mindset means that a student believes in their ability to learn and improve on any concept that they are taught. We also learned about Vygotsky's social constructivism theory and focused on the importance of interactions with peers. Vygotsky also focuses on ZPD, or zone of proximal development. This is the learning zone that is between what a student can do on their own and what they cannot. We learned about Piaget's social cultural learning theory and focused on schema. We learned that children actively construct their own knowledge. With a solid foundation on theory, I was ready to prepare for the field with the help of the content and process standards. A process standard that we used in the field was communication. The students would use math vocabulary for that lesson and would communicate with their peers to work through problems during guided practice. We also used the process standard of reasoning and proof. The students would explain how they solved their problems and why their answer was correct or incorrect. Both of these standards reflect back on Vygotsky's social constructivism theory. The next process standard that we practiced in the field was problem solving. This strand ties to Piaget's learning theory. We used a box method to help our students solve a 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication problem using partial products. The students were actively constructing their knowledge through the solving of their equations. We saw the process standard of representation in every lesson that we taught during our field experience. For this particular lesson, we had dry erasable sleeves that held our box method worksheet. The students would represent their numbers in each box and show with arrows which numbers they were multiplying. In other lessons, we would have them represent their numbers with large math drawings in base 10 blocks. We even used manipulatives such as dice and cards to represent the numbers for their equations. Lastly, we used the process standard of connections. We started the semester by working on place value and multiplying a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. The last 3 weeks, we moved into learning how to multiply a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. Our students were able to connect the strategies they learned when multiplying a 1-digit number by a 2-digit number to when they multiplied a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. Connecting their knowledge of the two concepts helped with their conceptual understanding of multiplication. In order to make sure that the students were understanding the math concepts and the process standards that were being taught, we used assessments to check on their learning process. The assessments we used were checklists. We learned that we needed to make our checklist more specific to fully understand the students' abilities. This is a formative type of assessment that tells a teacher the ongoing growth of a specific student. Throughout this field experience, I have learned many things, such as adaptability. We were paired with new students each week, so I never had a full understanding before a lesson of what they already knew. I was prepared each week to reteach basic concepts or extend on what we were learning. I also learned how to teach to all students no matter where they were at. This was very difficult at first because there was a wide variety of students and they were all at different levels in math. We learned how to teach them by using small groups and by being intentional and patient while teaching. In my future classroom, I hope to implement many of the ideas and strategies I learned throughout this field experience. I hope to use many different kinds of manipulatives and math drawings to help reach every student where they are. I also hope to foster growth mindsets for all my students. I used to be nervous to teach math, but through this enriched experience, I now feel confident to teach students from all different learning backgrounds.